Association. Also co-host and co-produce the only online show in the world for dads and fathers that is sponsored by Dove Men Plus Care. And as always, I'd like to say you're blessed, highly favored, a map for miracles, and a solution for someone's problem. Good morning, Kwanzaa night.
Good day, sir. Always good to
How are
see
you, man? What's going on?
Yo, things ending off the season on a high note, I'd say, as we have our last show of the year. But for those that might be tuning in for the first time, my name is Ryan Knight, one of the co-founders of the Afro-Caribbean Business Network, ACBN Canada, and also an entrepreneur. I run a company called Detailing Nights. So we provide mobile waterless car cleaning for people at their house or at their offices. And looking forward to next season. We're going to be recruiting soon. So January, February, if you're looking for a job for your teenage son or daughter or young adult, definitely send them our way. We'll show them they have the potential to start their own business. So looking forward to that. But how are things with you, brother?
Well, it's so good to you. And isn't it great that for our last show of the year, we have a queen coming on?
Right,
we have a black, not just a queen, a black queen.
Right.
A black queen coming on. How are things with me? I am fine, but I'm not well.
Interesting. So I'm curious, how would you kind of differentiate the two? So when you say you're fine but not well,
I'm okay, but I'm not 100% perfect. Let's put it that way. Right? There's I'm doing okay, but this, I'd say in the last 24 hours, I've encountered a lot of people who are going through a lot of hardship.
Okay.
So let me tell you, your internet is a little bit, I don't know if you have too many tabs open. You're a little frozen at times, but so I just managing my time and energy and giving it to those people who are in need. And this is like in the last, everything from death to someone having to put their dog down to, unfortunately, a lady who I know has experienced sexual assault twice this year. So all these things have been brought onto my presence in the last 24 hours. So I'm thankful that people are willing to share and confide in me in that. So, but I'm still okay. I'm still okay. But a lot of great conversations over the weekend. Had two great conversations yesterday, with Cesar on Black Canada Talking. We went in. He went in. We talked everything from 47 to Diddy and entertainment, and also talked about EDI, affirmative action, and all in the concept of significant Black stories that affected Black people over the past year. And then we at 8:00 last night, we had our Black Men Can Talk. We talked about new vision, new year for Black men.
Hey, love that. Oh, and I know Paul Osborne, he came on and was talking about Kwanzaa. So hold on. I've been trying to follow along with him. Let me see. So day 5. Let me make sure I get day 5 proper. Nia.
Yes, you're keeping the Kwanzaa daily posts, man.
Yeah, I gotta get my post for today out. So for those that are following along, we're on day 5. So Kwanzaa, we celebrate Nia, which means purpose. It's a day to reflect on our role in building and developing our community, making sure each person's purpose contributes to the overall greatness of our culture and legacy. And it's so interesting, the principles of Kwanzaa, and I'm curious how we can extend it into the full year. So we're going to be testing out some things coming up in Black History Month. So stay tuned for that.
So here's a potential show suggestions. Why don't we, just a suggestion, take each principle of Kwanzaa throughout the year and do a show on it. Like when we don't, the times we don't have a friend on, we talk about a specific aspect of Kwanzaa. What do you think about that?
I'm open to that. I think that'd be great.
And I want to get approval of the Black Queen in the green room. What does she think? She's just there with her head. I want to get thumbs up to that or thumbs down. Is that okay? All right. Double thumbs up. Yes.
I love
Yes.
that. Yeah.
How have things been going with yourself and the family?
Yeah, so like as the year is winding down, it's definitely been good to take, I'll say, somewhat of a break the last couple weeks. So last week and now this week coming up with New Year's to really reflect on what 2025 is going to look like. What I'm always nervous about, because I remember 2019 going into 2020, you had like these massive, amazing vision, and then something can just come around the corner and sucker punch you like COVID did. So it's almost like, you know what, shedding aside anything that could go wrong, where do you want to take yourself? So I've been thinking a lot about what 2025 could look like, how I can be more focused and not so distracted. You know, hey, it's great to go to events and it's great to try and be all around town, but home life and focusing on, of course, detailing nights, that kind of focus is, I feel, needed. And I've been running the company for like 15 years.
Wow. How long?
It's going on 16 years.
Whoa.
So it's now time to see if we can take this thing to that global vision that I have, you know?
So just out of curiosity, is there any succession planning that's come into your mind in regards to detailing nights as of yet?
Loosely. I mean, sometimes, you know, my kids, so Jasmine and Christian, I always remember when Jasmine was 6, we were at the store, and I think we were at a grocery store, and she said, no, I asked her, oh, would you ever want to work in a grocery store? And she's like, no, Dad, I already have a job. I was like, oh. I was like, what's your job? And she's like, owner of detailing nights. Oh!
Well, look at this. Are you saying that just to big up our queen that's coming on today? Just because?
No, I'm telling you, she said it since then. I'm curious how she feels about it now as a preteen.
But no,
and then Christian, he'll like hint at, oh, okay, Dad, so when am I supposed to start working in detailing nights? So loosely, I'm trying to create that foundation to say, hey, what does the business look like in a box that other people could run it? And hey, if it's my kids, it's there for them. If it's somebody else, I would say more looking for like an operations manager, like a person that would handle day-to-day logistics so that it's not relying on me to run the business, so that it can be passed on. But yeah, I mean, I feel like I got another 40 years if God is willing.
Of what, running that business?
Yeah, man. It's like if the machine is running, I would love to see, because for it to be around the world, I want to be traveling to different countries.
You want to run that business for another 40 years?
Oh, at minimum. If God is gonna keep me in this body, it's gonna be. I don't see myself like selling it and going to do something else, because ACBN is always there, that, you know, the community work gets done. But yeah, man, I envision detailing nights being that rite of passage for youth into their first experience in entrepreneurship or experience in like their first job. So if that comes to fruition, then yeah, man, want to get into as many young people's hands as possible.
Love it. And you know what? I'm loving so many people are here this morning.
Yeah,
love that. Love that.
Here with us.
And so people, okay, so a few things. First things first, we'll go to comments because a lot of people are in already. So Frequency Promotion says, Event Promotion says, fine, not well. And then Finance IQ goes, morning. She goes, I see, gotcha. So after I gave my explanation, JJ Mars says, good Monday morning. Good morning to you from Colorado. Sefton Spence says, I love that idea of having talking about a different Kwanzaa principle each month. So what other people think about that? It seems that, wow, lots of people jumping in this morning. Frequency Event Promotion says, Dr. Vibe Show, thanks for the good day greetings. Right back at you. Dr. Tachi, we'll get down to you in just a moment. Good to see you here. FHH Enterprises, anyone that's new, please like it wherever you're watching it and share it out. But it says could focus on one Kwanzaa principle each month.
I like that.
We're gonna do that. Samantha says, good morning, Dr. Vibe. Good too. Also, Samantha says, I would like to work with the team on this. I've always thought of the extent we can take it to 12. Okay.
Let's do it. Hey, the steering committee has been created.
Wow.
That's so good.
JJ Mar says things are fine here in Colorado. Great. And Shirley says, good morning, everyone. What family? Like the
Yeah,
ideas are just coming fast and furious here this morning. What? Okay, look at this. Global Women Ambassador. Good morning. Look forward. Okay.
You see that?
All right. Colin Williams. Hey, fam. What? You
Yes.
guys, my
Is
goodness.
that calling from GC Jerk Express?
I think it may be.
Hey, thank you for all the catering you've done for us throughout the year.
100%. And Global Women Ambassador says, love Lady K. Okay, so there's some people that maybe like know each other here this morning.
Yes.
That is okay, so we look at this last conversation of the year. We've got 12 new ideas, 7 new ideas for the next year already done. So that's just what we want. We want all of you to provide suggestions. Unless they're out to lunch, we'd love to. And you know what? If you make the ideas, we'd love you to come on and join us and talk about those ideas.
Absolutely. Yes.
That's one of the things I'd like next year, to have some of you, if you're camera ready, and if you're more importantly, if you're mind ready, to join us. And it is Colin says, yes, blessing, brother. So it is Colin.
Nice.
Fantastic. So lot of things going on today, but we've got, I guess what else is going on over the holiday? You know, it's interesting that Christmas and New Year's fall on a Wednesday.
Right, like that middle of the month vibe. And it's interesting how different companies treat it. Some just shut it down for the week, and others are like, okay, Wednesday and Tuesday, you're somewhat off. No, so New Year's is Tuesday and Wednesday. And then with Christmas, it's Wednesday and Thursday. But it's like you're at work on Monday and you're at work on Friday. So they just give you those like that midweek, but they're like back. Especially I noticed people that work in banking. It's like, I thought they would just be shut down, but you're like Monday, Friday operation.
No, well, just really interesting. And some people are basically saying we're out until January 6th.
Don't the what's it? The autoresponder is January 6th out of office.
January 6th. Well, for me, believe it or not, I'm doing a lot of work over the holiday season. People say, are you crazy? No, because there's less distractions. Right. I can get more done.
Yeah.
Right? From now till probably about the first or second week of January, if you need to get work done, now is the time because there's less distractions. Right. All right. Opal Inspired says, good morning, all. Good morning to you. Follow her and her creations on YouTube. Also, looking forward to making a guest appearance in the new year for sure this time. We'll see.
We heard that 2 years ago.
If we can see event promotions. Yes. So I think it's time to go to break because our new executive producer is sitting in the green room with her hand just like this, checking everything out, just evaluating things. And I am really excited to have this Black Queen on. I've done research. I've come prepared. You are worthy, Black Queen. You are worthy. Don't give me, keep the smile going. All right. So what we're going to do is we are going to go to a quick break, and then we are going to meet a new friend. Well, friend of mine. Hopefully she'll become a friend of mine, but everyone else seems to know this lady. I'm going, why am I left out? So let's go to our commercial and we'll be right back.
Hey, Dr. Vibe, this is Nigel Gordyke checking in from Waterloo in Southwest Ontario. I love your show, especially how it takes conversations that we're having in the community and expands them into the broader community so more and more people can get involved and engaged. That expands on the topics and takes them to a wider audience. And it enables more of us to feel engaged and part of the community. Thank you for including me in one of those conversations recently. I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. Much love.
All right. Thank you, Nigel. So a few things. As always, please subscribe to the Dr. Vibe show on YouTube and hit the notification button. We have officially hit 1,630 subscribers. I'd really see if we could hit 1,640 by the end of the year. I'm not asking too much, am I? And then like the Dr. Vibe Show on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram. Also, to advertise your business product or service on the platform, please feel free to email me at dr.vibe at the dr.vibeshow.com. Join the Morning Vibe Discord group. Email me at dr.vibe at the dr.vibe at the dr.vibeshow.com. Once in a while, I get it right. And one of the things I'm looking to do is definitely increase the people who are part of the Discord group. Really want to increase that in the new year. We got to work on that. Also, earlier we had Dr. Tachi on. If you don't know who she is, she drives the force behind Indie Soup Media TV. There is a link. It celebrated their 8th-month anniversary on Christmas Day with over 22,000 YouTube subscribers.
Boom. Love it. Love it.
22,000. And quick story on Dr. Tachi. We were speaking over the weekend. Judy Stewart, who was on, was it last Monday? Was it? Last Monday with Grace Coles. So Dr. Tachi knows someone who knows Judy. And Dr. Tachi, this lady, the Dr. Tachi, because Judy said she ran track at UNLV.
Right. Yes.
So Dr. Tachi knows this person really well. So Dr. Tachi, what I'm going to do is have a conversation with all of us, hopefully, together offline.
That's so cool.
So I'm really excited about that. And another thing today we're going to be launching, for those who are watching on my YouTube channel, I'm going to start now putting a poll on every show.
Okay. Nice.
So I don't know if there's, I don't know what question would we want today to put up? Is there a question?
People sometimes are hit or miss with resolutions, but I'm curious if people are making a resolution for the new year.
Okay, so are you making a resolution? And I don't make resolutions. I do words for the year.
Okay, so what was the word for 2024?
Well, I always have a few words. One of the words is clarity.
Right.
Another word is delegate.
Okay.
And another one is accountability and mindfulness. So I've just put up a poll on my YouTube channel saying, are you making a resolution for 2025? So I already have one person saying yes.
Sweet. So and if you say yes, put it in the comments. Let us know what that resolution will be.
Yeah. So people on that. Oh, Frequency Event Pro says, congrats on reaching another subscription milestone. Thank you very much.
Keep pushing.
Good morning, Ryan Singh. Hey, by the way, a lovely picture of you and your family. I don't know if it was on Instagram. I saw it. Beautiful picture. Sandra Davis says, focus on small home-based business, medium and larger storefronts. Let's bring the artists and the artists. Let's get it started. Email me and let's have a conversation.
Love it. Yes.
And I'll be putting my contact information, Ryan's contact information, in the comment section on my platforms. I can't put on Ryan's, but my platforms. Let's make it happen. And also, Dr. Tachi says, very cool. All right. We've let our Black Queen wait long enough. And actually, she just got up and left. She says, man, she probably vexed at us because we're going too long. Would you like to do the introduction?
I mean, as best I can, if you want to read the bio after, but I was able to meet Asha actually thanks to Sandra Davis that's there, her son Jamal that runs Empro Graphics. We were able to do kind of like a brunch networking presentation for business owners. And that's the first time I met Asha. And she was presenting about, how to do marketing and talking about this Facebook group that she has, Black Queens of Durham. So then learning more about it, seeing how big it was and the way that she's been able to bring women together and have them really coordinate and support each other, I just feel like is amazing, and been wanting to get her on the show for a while. And now after they had their event, we said, hey, can you come on and talk about it?
And I knew nothing about this event. I found out about this event from Paul Osborne that day we were broadcasting. Right. He told me, what? I go, what is this?
And I think it was covered on CTV, either City Pulse or CTV.
Oh, I guess they like those places. We're chaff. We're chaff. Okay,
hey, right. That's where we have to highlight, like you said, highlight our queens. So I've been a fan following the journey and happy to have her on. I don't know if you want to dig a bit deeper.
No, you know what? All I'm gonna say is this Black Queen has done amazing heart work to build up this. I'll say it. I don't like using this word, community. I like to say constellation of people.
Yes.
But we're gonna have her come on, and we are gonna make her rock the world today. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
How you doing?
Great.
Good to see you. Good to see you.
Good. What's been going on?
Oh, what's not been going on?
Okay.
First of all, well, thank you for having me. I am honored to be here with both of you. So thank you so much for the wonderful welcome and introduction. So yes, thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Our pleasure.
Okay. All right. So let's ask a little bit about your background. Give us some background about yourself.
Ooh, you want the long version or the short version?
Whatever. We got time.
We got time. So my name is Asha. I'm the founder of the Black Queens of Durham region. I am a longtime resident of Durham back in like the late 80s when there were not any of us up here, much of us or any of us. What else? My parents are of Antiguan background. So we grew up a lot with just going to community events, being very, very involved in the Antiguan community. So that's where I think I get a bit of my heart for making sure that, you know, you're always around family, you're always around community, you're always involved in something back at the age where I didn't want to be. And I now have such an appreciation for kind of what they instilled in us. Always entrepreneurial has been in me. The entrepreneurship has always been in me. Personal growth, love to read, and I just like to see my community thrive. I like to see my people doing well. So I would say that's why I do what I do.
And shout out to Antigua. So my father-in-law, Dane Thomas, is from Antigua. And I are you hearing that we might know each other through, I think, your sister Joy and your parents?
I'm sure so.
Right? Yeah.
So if he's not my cousin, then at least my parents would know his parents and all this stuff. Yeah. So very, very, very small community. Yes.
And so I was so curious what made you now want to start this type of community. So were you always doing, I would say, like gatherings or bringing people together, or was this something very new that you wanted to start working on? And what prompted you to want to start the group?
I think I've always been definitely a huge introvert. Some people kind of don't believe that. Big introvert, but I like to be in that a bit of a fly on the wall, and I love pulling people together. So I've always liked, whether it's in gatherings, like, okay, I know this person, I know this person, I know that person, they really get along really well with this person. Yeah. Or I know somebody who does this, somebody's looking for it. So it's just like always being intentional with connecting great people. Because I think that there are so many great people out there. I don't think it's ever too late to make friends, make new connections. So I love to pull people together and watch the magic happen with that. Yeah.
You're like me.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Let's get back because messages are coming in fast and furious. So let's get to them. So we got Dr. Tachi says, very cool. I think she's saying that because of the poll and people are responding. Just Tornado, good morning to see you all the way from Texas.
Okay.
Very nice. Frequency Event Promote says, as per request, Resolution 2025 hosts at least one network mixer in the USA. Okay. Also says, hi, Asha.
Hello, Christopher. This is the guy who knows everybody. He comes to our events and stops every 2 feet because somebody knows him. So that's really cool.
Okay. He also says, good day, Ryan Singh, Frequency Event Promotions. Is that also all the way from I'll just say outside of North America? Laura Lala Key says, hello, family. And she also says, you are a connector. That's a blessing. There we go.
Yes. Is Lala, was she in Portugal for
Yes,
Well,
she
okay.
talked between Portugal and the United States.
Oh, gotcha.
So I should have a conversation piece. Was there a specific moment or experience that led to you starting Black Queens of the Durham region?
So yeah, 2017. So we started in August of 2017, and that was the first summer wave of racial injustices being televised. So we had George Floyd, but before that, there was a wave of like Philando Castile around that time. And yeah, there was just a lot of things happening that were coming to light on social media. I was angry, I was upset, like most of us were. And I realized that if I kept that anger and energy in my body, that it wasn't a good place for it to live. So I was like, okay, how can I, transmute this energy into something positive or constructive? And really, I think it's funny, as you talk about purpose today, I thought of that. I think sometimes when you have a purpose, like it like finds you almost, because I kept having this idea, and even the idea of the name it almost wouldn't let me sleep. So I was like, I have this idea, maybe I'll do it, maybe I won't. Maybe I won't. And then it's just like, it's sitting there like nagging at me to do something. So yeah, so I'm sure you guys know there's the Black Toronto very large group that has over 40 or 50,000 people at this point now.
Right. Yes.
So I put a message in there and I said, hey, are there any Black women who might live in the Durham region who might want to just connect? And I'm thinking, okay, 5 people will respond, we'll go for coffee. That's the end of my thing. And I put that message, and I think within 24 hours, we had over 50 people. People that were like, hey, I'm here. So it's just like, I feel like there's so many of us that lived out here, but we don't know each other. We're not connected. And within, I responded to each message, and I'm like, okay, I'll get back to you. Okay, I'll get back to you. And I was like, okay, I can't respond to all these messages. And I was like, okay, let me make a Facebook group. Move the conversation to the Facebook group. So I had to literally say, okay, now come over here and join us here. And that's kind of where it started. September 2017, we had our first just like meet and greet. We had 100 people show up to that. We got some snacks and stuff made, but at that moment, you could already feel the energy in the room of like, people needed something like that out here in the East End. And then December 2017, we had our first little tiny pop-up market at the Ajax Community Center, and today we're at 12,000. So a few things happened.
Can you say that again? How many?
Today
today we're at 12,000.
12,000. Today we're at 12,700.
Thank you.
700.
Loud and proud.
Man.
Loud and proud.
So between the 100 and the 12,000, some things have happened, in between that time.
Were there any unique challenges or opportunities you faced as you were establishing the Black Queens of the Durham region?
Yeah, good question. I think I've always liked smashing narratives and assumptions. So I really thought that the economics were very, very, very important. But before the economics, there's a foundation for me that was really important, and that was building trust. So I was just like, okay, I'd love for us to come together and do these bigger things, but what is it that I've seen in other places or other organizations? Where does it break down? And sometimes it's dysfunction, it's fighting. So it's just like, you want to do something, but this person thinks that person's going to steal their money or something like that. So for me, it's always been about like, okay, core foundation of the group is building trust and building relationships. And I think maybe the biggest challenge has been just like switching that mindset of like, oh, that's our website. Yes. Switching that mindset of we can't get along with each other. And I always say to the group is like, we don't need to be each other's best friend, because you're not going to be best friends with 12,000 people. But kindness and respect it is a must. And that's the kind of the baseline. So yeah, I think being able to kind of like change the mindset of what you used to do as you come into the group. And for some people, it's been, it's pretty simple. Like, okay, this is what we do here. Here we respect people. Even if you disagree, we respect each other. So I think that's probably been maybe the biggest challenge is really just like trying to remold that mindset.
And I love
Are
that.
you surprised we showed your website? Why wouldn't we?
Oh no, it was cool. I was like, oh, thank you.
And it's so interesting that it started with you wanting to get people together in person. And so I was curious now, almost 7 years later, what are the signature events that you do each year? And because we're seeing them very successful, so I was curious how it's evolved.
Yeah, so our big signature, as you mentioned, that just passed, is our holiday pop-up market. So that's our kind of big one for the year. This one that you're seeing on the screen here is our brunch. So we did our second annual one this past April. So 2023 was our first year, 2024 second. So that's going to be an annual thing for us. So 2025, that's already scheduled for Sunday, April the 27th.
I can't come.
Ladies, I'm sorry, not for this one, but you can come to the market. The market's for everyone. So the brunch is coming, and then we also
can't crash.
I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. I mean, we might have to find some little way to sneak you in, but
security.
That, or if you're a musician or something.
All right.
So that's our main one. We have a market as well in the summer. So summer and holiday, but the holiday is the big one. And I would say, that's about it. We usually celebrate our anniversary. So we have like a smaller social in September, usually around September, October is when we do that. And then the rest of the time, the Facebook group itself is really highly engaged. So there's a lot of communication and resource sharing and questions and conversations that also happen online. And then, of course, it's not us. I always say I don't want us to have to do everything. So people post their events that they've got coming up. So it's a great place for other people to also share what they've got going on. And my hope is that people continue just to support any and everything.
The family loves us here because they're saying Fitness IQ Can says put a wig on to get in.
Oh, God.
Oh my gosh, my dad always says that. He's like, Asha, can I come to your event? I'm like, no, Daddy. He's like, what if I put my hair in some and put on...
And then also Ryan Singh says media accreditation. See, they want me there. And then frequency.
Maybe do interviews on a red carpet as they go in.
True.
All right. Frequency Event Promotion says the holiday market is growing. I should keep up the incredible work. Old Pool Inspired says, love the website. Looks amazing. Ryan Singh says, my wife loves your group. Here are a lot of resources she connects to through that platform.
And I'll second that. My wife, we were able to find so many, when we moved to Durham, contractors that we were looking for, mint duct cleaning, we found through the group.
Nice.
So it's definitely a great resource and she loves it.
My next conversation piece is, what's the mission of the organization and what specific issues are you addressing within the community?
Yeah, so our mission is to connect the Black women in the Durham region, and really just to, I think overall, I think women are a very powerful part of the Black family, and they're the ones who are the conversation starter, the resource sharers, the ones that go and get what they need, and then they bring that to the rest of the family. So I never want people to think that, like, yes, it's a group for women, but we're not just only pro women. So it's not that kind of group where it's just like, men aren't allowed here. So it's more creating that safe space for people to flourish and connect and just get that encouragement that women often need, and the space to talk, because we love to just talk, right? But it's really about empowering them. I use the word empower, I use the word inspire. So I really think it's important for people to feel like they individually have the power to make a change in their own lives. So we're not victims of circumstance. We can make things happen. And I think it's important. I'm a champion for families and the Black family. So it's just like, if we can empower them, we can then bring that information back to empower the families, which then strengthen the community. So it's a kind of a level, it's like strengthen that foundation so you can build that next level on top of it. So it's always been about the community for me, but I know that women are a key part of that equation. And I do believe our men are also a very key part of that equation too, and that we all have a part to play. So it's just helping the women play their part and helping them to be the best they can be, so they can also be the best for themselves, the best for their families, and then the best for their community.
So Laura Lala Key says this is wonderful, and Dr. Tachi says this is simply fantastic. So you're getting big ups from 2 Americans today.
Okay, hey,
on the platform.
Awesome.
So how does the organization empower Black women in the Durham region, and what impact have you seen so far?
There's been it's when the testimonials come in. I think sometimes our head I have to actually shout out my partner in crime, who is Fatim Silla. So she's the one, all this, I would say, is the master of marketing and advertising. So the website and all these beautiful visuals, and even the idea for the pop-up market is her. So we're always on the phone, we're always voice noting, we're emailing. So I feel like sometimes our heads are down. And sometimes it's just like, oh man, we're working so hard. And then somebody will come up and say, hey, Asha, because of you, I was able, and because of the Black Queens of Durham, I was able to do this. Because of the Black Queens of Durham, I was able to do this. Because of the Black Queens of Durham, I've had people say 90% of my business comes from the Black Queens of Durham. Wow. Because of the Black Queens of Durham, I was able to find a resource for my child in their school who was having an issue. So it's like so many areas, definitely success for business owners, but also just that social support. So for an example, before COVID, we were at 3,000 members, and just after COVID, we had 9,000.
Hold on. Yeah. From what to what?
We tripled during COVID.
Gotcha.
So here, family, people are listening. There are people there that COVID was a blessing. Right? They took advantage of the situation.
I don't know if I'd say all that, but
hold on. Okay, yes. But hold on. You went from 3,000 to 9,000. Celebrate that.
We did, but I will say this. People said during that time the group was a lifeline to them because they were so isolated. Yes.
Right. Yeah.
So it was kind of like, because of the challenge, that was kind of a result of that challenge. Yeah. So huge growth, which I'm thankful for. But at the same time, it's a little bittersweet because people were having such a tough time. Mm-hmm. But they said, okay, you guys don't realize during COVID, you were the group that I stayed connected to during that time when I felt kind of felt alone. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm so curious, over the time that you've been growing this, has anything surprised you, that being kind of, because you're almost like the leader of now this community, so it's like, but as you've been building it, is there anything like surprised you that you weren't expecting when you were putting it together initially?
Honestly, from initially, definitely the numbers, like never expecting that it would have grown this big. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I believe in the people, because I believe there are great people out there. So having these great people and connecting with them, to me, it's not necessarily a surprise. It's more like, ooh, who do we get to meet today? But definitely the growth and the numbers. And I think, again, just hearing these, for me, as much as we have 12,700, for me, success comes when one person says, I connected with this one person, and now we're really great friends.
Love that.
And now our kids hang out together. And like, so I really think that those, I think relationships are so important. Genuine relationships are important. I think for women, especially, it's like maybe you grew up with your high school friends or whatnot, but once you get up, you have kids, you start to move out to the suburbs. Maybe your best friend's in Brampton and you don't see them anymore. So for somebody to say, I met a great person, and we've connected on a deeper than a surface level, and now this person is my friend, and we do things together, or we've done business together, and now since we've done business together, this person has become my friend. So that stuff touches my heart.
I hope you're going to take a few more minutes, because there's lots of comments, lots of questions flying in. All right.
And I'll just say this one thing before I forget. I have 3 sisters, and we're super, super, super close. So I know what it's like to have like a sister relationship, and not everybody has the, it has that. Yep. So it's just like being able to encourage people and to make introductions, that somebody can experience that sister relationship with somebody who might not be blood to them is important.
Right.
Okay. So Frequency Event Promotion says, big shout out to Fatim.
Yes.
And then Sandra says, hey, Asha, tell them how the group has helped business grow. So, man,
Sandra.
So tell us how.
Ooh, so every Monday, and today is one of those days, we have business. It's like a business promo Monday, so you can promote your business, post your business. We've got a thread, and you can post to the general wall of the page as well. And anybody who's consistent with their posting, and I think we really need to survey this and get some
you and I have to have an
data.
offline conversation, because I got about 7 things I want to suggest to you.
Okay,
Nice.
so we definitely need to track that. So for example, we do track it with the vendors who come through to sell at the pop-up market. So that's something that we do a survey after and see how well they've done. As an example, for our pop-up market, we had over 200 applications for our pop-up market for this year. And
how many did you accept?
Probably around like 80.
Yeah.
So it's now become the if you want to get into a market,
you're the
place to be. It's the place to be because we spend a lot of time and money in that marketing and advertising to make sure that we get people in the room. So it's the testimonials. It's when I run into somebody, because people, they don't necessarily come back and post. It's more I run into somebody, they're like, oh, hey, Asha, I know I don't post, but I want you to know I've gotten all this business from the group. And I'm like, what? I want you to know that, I've been able to quit my job.
I want you to look in the private chat. One of my suggestions.
Yes. Video testimonials. Okay.
We can talk about that.
Yes, we did a content day back in October leading up to the market, and we actually did get some testimonials for some of the vendors who are also business owners in the group. Okay. But we're going to go back and do some more of that.
We're going to talk. Yeah, we'll chat offline. We'll chat. There's a lot of suggestions I have. We have a question here from Frequency. He says, first and only question, right? Of course, we're not at the end. You're asking about 2025. We're still getting to the, okay, we'll do this. For 2025, will one of the deliverables for your organization be more partnership? Essentially, are you allergic to, quote, building more partnership, unquote?
I wouldn't say allergic. We do have quite a bit of people that reach out to us for partnerships. I think one of the challenges is how do we structure those partnerships? Because we do some partnerships, we do some sponsorships, we do some co-sponsorships for events and stuff. So I think it'd be more, we have so many coming in. How do we actually structure those, and what do they look like? Yeah. Hello. Yes.
we need to chat about that. I can give you some suggestions.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah, because if you're around for the intro, the team I'm a part of, we've had a partnership with Dove Men Plus Care for 4 years.
Ooh.
Nice.
So I'm not going to go any more deeper than that, but I believe that you're leaving money on the table.
I completely agree with you. Agree with you.
You're leaving money on the table, and I'm not gonna go ahead.
Well,
Brian.
I was curious with now you have the group, the vision for 2025, and also what do you feel like is missing that you'd like to include in the group going forward?
I do think for us, partnerships, I know there's different meanings sometimes of partnerships, but if I'll use the word maybe partnership/sponsorships is something that we've been trying to work on this year. And it's been a little tough even just getting those, but I mean, we have the numbers, we have the eyes, we have the engagement for that. So I think we need some help on that for people who are good at it.
Nice.
You got somebody in the room. Yes, definitely need some help on that, because I mean, again, sometimes you can have numbers, but it's not engaged. But we do have a highly engaged group that we've built that trust with and stuff like that. So definitely some more, because I mean, we put a lot of time into this. So I think that is something that we just need to be able to sustain ourselves and continue to grow.
Cool. And is there any type of event that you haven't done that you've always wanted to do?
Ooh, it's so funny because Fatim always has these ideas. Let's do this, and I'm just like, I'm barely like surviving through execute these really, really well. Maybe maybe we partner with somebody else to do something smaller. We actually, it's funny enough, I talked about maybe some sort of gala because we were talking about that. Where can we pull?
Oh, there's your friend right there. Right. There's the Gala King.
Where can we pull the men in with us? And it's just like, okay, the brunch isn't not necessarily the most appropriate, but maybe some sort of gala or a scholarship thing, like something with
Gala
a cause attached to it.
Gala King.
Okay.
You know, it'd be cool. Not this coming, but the following Valentine's. If you're gonna do so, that way the queens can bring their king, and you know we can pamper the women a bit. So that might be cool. Or for Christmas holidays,
something like that. Yeah. So we thought about some sort of gala that we can make sure that we have both in the room. Yeah.
Gotcha.
I wanna bring this up. What are some of the biggest challenges that Black women in Durham are facing today, and how does your organization support them in overcoming these challenges?
Ooh, good question. I can't say that there's anything specific that I've seen. I mean, we have there's always different questions from such a wide range of topics that come up. So again, maybe that's a survey question. What are your challenges? Gotcha. Maybe we poll because I don't want to make assumptions, but there's different questions that come up and people help with those resources. So sometimes it's something like, hey, my friend just had a baby and she needs some baby supplies. So people will jump in. Hey, I got diapers. I got this. I need a lawyer for a particular thing that happened for me. Okay, here's a person. Can contact this person. I need to get my hair done. Contact this person. So it's just
I do too.
So unless we would really have to kind of take a poll to see if there are particular patterns that we're seeing in particular challenges. You have, people that are in lower income that might need certain resources. You have people that are business owners that might need certain resources. So I can't say I've seen one particular challenge per se. But any question, people will come to the group and they will ask that question and get it answered. And there's a wide range of those questions.
Excellent. All right. So we're just doing a reset here. We are talking to the founder of the Black Queens of Durham region that has how many Facebook?
12,700.
Thank you very much. I want to make sure you say that strong. That's something to be very proud of here on the Morning Vibe. And also, if you're watching the Dr. Vibe Show YouTube page, we're doing a poll. Yes, brand new stuff. We're not waiting for 2025 to happen. We're doing it now. And the question is, are you planning to make any resolutions for 2025? Right now, 53% of people who have answered have said no.
Wow. Okay.
Interesting. All right. So
I'm curious what they're doing instead of a resolution.
So, Minnie on Cam says morning. Good morning, Minnie on Cam. And also Dr. Tachi says hello to Minnie on Cam. She says, hey, Miss Dr. Tachi. Dr. Tachi is a popular person here, by the way. Dr. Tachi says, frequent event promotions, hello. Shirley says, I've heard great things about your group. My cousin is a member. She owns a medical spa in Oshawa. Kudos to you and your team.
Thank you.
Very cool.
There we go. Question here from Dr. Tachi. Have you thought about franchising / having chapters across Canada and other countries? For example, Black Queens of Vancouver, London, UK, etc.
Ooh, that's a good question. And that's something that we literally had a conversation about that yesterday.
Wow.
Yeah.
Right.
In terms of okay, is this a name that we need to trademark?
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. And then so would you shift to this being your full-time focus eventually, or would it always be, maybe putting a team together that would run it? How do you envision your involvement in the group?
Ooh.
See, this is why you hang out with Brian and I once in a while. We have a mastermind together. Because as you're growing, there's only one of you.
Exactly.
And remember, one of my words of the year is delegate.
Delegate. And I'm feeling it already. So, I mean, I've been feeling it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, building. How do you build a team? And especially when you're I'm a particular person.
Okay.
I like particular, and I like things done well. I like things done well. So I definitely love to look at what does building a team look like, and to get me out of some of the day-to-day and get me, you guys are asking great questions. Have I had time to like put my head up and just put my thinking cap on for that future planning?
Yeah, because I mean, we're impressed with what you've built, and that's where you always try to figure out, okay, either how do I protect it so it doesn't fall apart, but then you also want to grow, so it's like that balance between.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I'll just share some thought process here. Right now, it sounds like you are the best person to expand this, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So, but you have a lot of things that you probably like to get off your plate.
Yes.
So you can expand that. So that's why delegation is really important. Because if you're going to try to do this on your own, I don't want to see you in the cemetery yet.
Honey, no.
I like that, honey. All right.
But I'm curious.
I like that.
For those that are watching that have been trying to build out our like mini niche communities, I'm saying for myself too, what would be some learnings or some guidance that you would give as people are trying to build out their communities?
I think having a core purpose. It's funny because people always ask, what was your 5-year vision? I actually I never had one. So it really grew organically. And obviously I don't want to continue not doing that. Like there's some planning that needs to happen. But the group is also, and Fatima always says that, she's just like, the group is a little bit like you. So I think in infusing a little bit of yourself into that project, I think consistency. So I think sometimes people might get excited about an idea right now, but it's just like, are you going to continue to do, just like you're here week after week after week after week, no matter what, you show up, right? So it's kind of for me having that long view of I'm gonna be here. So it's not just like, okay, something happens in the news and we're gonna support Black businesses for a week, and then we go back to what we've always done. In the group now, there's a culture and there's a mindset. I'm gonna come to this group, I'm gonna see if there's a Black person first who does this, and then if there's not, then I'm going out. So so I think just like, what is that core foundation principle you want to have? Are you going to decide to continue to show up? For us, we've never kind of done a campaign of like, okay, go add 10 of your friends to this group. It's all people organically invite people to come. So it's like, if you like something and you're getting value from it,
that's the best way.
Well, that's producing quality that's shareable.
And I think, and a lot of value, right? It's just like adding value where you can. I don't know.
I saw you pick.
Oh, I thought I froze.
Hold on. I froze for a moment. Okay. Did you pick up a pen? I saw a pen in your hand. Was that a? Oh, what's that in your hand all of a sudden for?
You said something and I can't miss it. So I was like, let me take notes.
Okay. Right. Well, we'll give you time. If you want to take notes, go ahead. We'll give you time and space. We'll give you time.
You said delegate. So I was just like, okay, let me write that down.
Okay.
And you said video
Dr.
testimonials.
Vibe, when are you going to do like a business mastermind? Get some of our guests to get together and figure out ways that we can grow our individual projects.
People know how to get a hold of me.
Listen, you can put together something.
No.
Like,
people
getting a hold of you is
trying to reach out to people all the time got me my bald head. There was a time I did have hair, I did have a fade at one day. But let me get to this. Frequency Event Promotion says, Dr. Tachi, how are you? Good day. Minnie on Cam says, There are no resolutions. It's set up as something you declare at the stroke of midnight. I tend to focus on life planning. Ryan Singh has an interesting idea. TV series BQOD.
Wow, that'd be wild.
And Ryan is a film documentary producer, by the way.
Okay. I like it.
Laura Lalaki says, great word, Dr. Vibe. I think she means to delegate. Frequency of Information says, gotta run. Aisha and Fatim, keep the good times rolling. Happy New Year to everyone and all. So we are up to date. I have another conversation piece for the note taker.
Yes.
How do you balance addressing individual empowerment with fostering a sense of collective progress and community?
Ooh, expand on that a little bit for me there, the individual empowerment part.
Well, everyone comes to you wanting to grow their business. How do you keep that mindset of the collective, empowering the collective, while also empowering the individual?
I mean, first thing that comes to mind in a practical way, back when we first started the group, we started this post your business on Mondays only. Mm-hmm. So even that in itself, it's like, okay, here's your day to promote. Some people are like, why can't I just promote my business every day? Well, if you're only thinking about, promote, at what point in that week are you giving back to the group? So even I think that structure in itself is like, okay, yes, Mondays is for me to promote, but the rest of the week is like, okay, only promoting on Mondays. Don't submit your business thing any other day because it's going to clog up the queue for me to be able to approve other posts of people who have questions or want to share some information or
can I just interrupt? Are you doing this all by yourself?
Oh, good question. The group itself, the management of the Facebook group, that's pretty much that's me.
Wow. We definitely need to chat offline.
I know.
See, those are my suggestions. That's one of the tasks you need to get offloaded.
Yeah. And interestingly enough, it's like, not everything gets approved. So there's a certain tone that we want to keep, tone and culture that has been fostered and created in the group that we're kind of known for. And I think I would have to be able to translate to somebody else. This is why we would approve this. This is why we would decline this. This is why we would approve this. This is why we would decline this. So I think I agree with you. And the group itself is, yes, we have the events, but the group itself is like the core baby of the vibe, right? So it's just like when people are just like, I come to this event, there's a vibe in the room. What is that? And I'm like, the vibe you feel in the room is the extension of the vibe of the community online. If there was ever a way to create an online vibe, we have it. So yeah, I think it would be okay. How do I get a person who is not just going to come be like, okay, approve. I literally, and it doesn't take a long time, but I go through each post. Is this appropriate? I go through each post. Is this appropriate? Is this appropriate? No, we're not doing this here. So
here's a suggestion. Get a person and give them some of those posts and see what they do with it. Whether they approve it or not.
A tester.
Yeah.
Checklist. Yeah. But I'm so curious, approx how many posts would you get a day?
Ooh, that's a good question. I mean, today is Monday, so today is the day that the majority of them come in. So maybe like today I would get maybe like 100 or something like that.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and then on a regular day, maybe
No, I want to stop right there. The 100. And how much time do you spend on each one of those?
Ooh, on each post, a glance, unless somebody has written like a big long thing. So yeah, it's a couple seconds to be like, okay. Yeah,
so
a couple seconds.
Think about it this way, just putting it out there. Say you had someone doing that for you, you would get an hour and a half of your time back.
Each day, yes. And I'm also throughout the day checking. So it's not a good system.
No, but
I can agree that. Yeah.
No, but you just try, and you're working towards it, and you're realizing that the most important thing you have is your time. So getting back to what I'm saying, if this is as this is growing,
Yeah.
are you the person to grow it, or is someone else? If someone else, you hire them or bring them on board. If it's you, then you've got to take my suggestion. You get some of these things off your plate,
My
so you can
plate,
get the time
absolutely.
to grow it to where your dream goal and desire of this group is. Just a thought. Minnie on Cam says Facebook groups have AI features to filter out posts. That's how she runs her group.
Ooh, okay.
Wow, that sounds new. I've never
There you
seen
go.
Here's my pen.
that.
There you go. So
It'd be cool to see some students from like Durham College, or even I'm
you,
sure in the group,
I,
people would love it.
what myself and Ms. Asha, I got so many different suggestions in regards to getting her time back.
Right.
Getting her time back, right?
I like
Because
it.
so for just example, right now, Asha, and I'm gonna get deep in this. From now till the end of August, I don't have to edit any video.
Nice. So is that students or interns?
Students and interns, and I don't pay a cent for that.
Gotcha.
Mm.
So how many are you going to be working with?
Oh boy. Well, let's put it this way. Last summer I had 7.
Ah, nice.
And it basically got to the point all I had to do was show up on the show, and that's it. Everything else was done by students.
Nice.
Yeah, man,
It's
we got to
time
get there,
back.
Asha.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to press this guy to do a master class.
You know, and Mignon Camp says about the Facebook groups, it's not new. It's
That,
not
how
new
can it
today.
not be new? AI came out in
The
like
AI?
2020.
Well, okay, and then Colin says sometimes it's hard to let go. You see, here's an example. Sometimes it's hard to let go, but when I did, I noticed growth in 1 year.
Nice.
So there's a living. So I'm not the only one saying that. People
And
got
Colin is actually somewhat franchising his restaurants, so that might be another person that'd be good to talk to about creating systems that can be duplicated.
I think, and so since I'm not a lady, I can't speak this to your group. But one of the key things that entrepreneurs fall short on is process.
Okay.
Going back to a show that I remember sharing with Ryan a long time ago, The Prophet, with Marcus Lemonis.
Oh, right. That's a good one.
He always said, when it comes to entrepreneurship, he always looks at people, process, and product. And the thing that a lot of entrepreneurs fall down on is processes.
Right.
I agree.
Right. And so Lala says, that's my goal. Need to get some interns. Lala, reach out to me. Reach out to me. There's Lala's fam, so I'm gonna help her out with that. And I also help Dr. Tachi out with that. So Lala, message me today. We can make something happen for you. Big time. So let me ask you, what challenges are you facing now leading this group that you didn't experience in the beginning? How are the challenges different now?
I think, exactly what you've been talking about is just like doing everything ourselves, everything ourselves. And then looking at like how we can get some of the smaller detail stuff off of our plate. I'm way too much in the day-to-day and in the administrative tasks and stuff like that. So yeah, I would say that more than anything. A little bit more because the group itself has grown, so it's just more time. We did a rebrand earlier this year, new website, new logo, stuff like that.
Oh, congratulations.
So
yeah, the website is solid, by the way.
Yeah.
Thank you again. That's all the team. Shout out to
hello.
So yeah, I would say kind of like, okay, putting those structures, those processes, and even now we've done our markets like a couple of times, so we have better systems for even just planning. We have an event planner now that helps us with the event. So now that we're kind of going into like at the third brunch, we have like we introduced using Trello as an example. So now we have all of the steps and the tasks. So as opposed to us going from the beginning of planning all that stuff, now it's like, okay, all these tasks are already written and we now just have to go in and check them off again. So I think, just getting more efficient as we get as we get bigger. And then just getting out there even now to network more, and again those partnerships, because things cost, so it's just like, how are we actually getting revenue in to compensate us for the time that we're putting into this. So that, I would say, that's been a challenge as well.
I'm so much looking forward to our offline chat.
Yes.
Question.
Yeah.
How did your organization approach the diverse experiences of Black women, including those from different cultural, socioeconomic, and generational backgrounds?
Ooh, that's a good question. I think, again, we've done it organically. And again, just that basis of the connections, making sure that there's kindness and respect. I think we get a chance to learn from the ladies in the older generation. As you can see from our brunch, for example, the video we're doing a dance like instruction, as we had our big lunch, and we're like, we're not going to sit down and get tired. We're going to get up and do a little thing. So even in that video, you can see the picture of the young ones, and then our older ladies as well. All they're out on the dance floor. So the group itself has just a wide range of generations. Our market is something that we're very intentional about, saying like, this is a multi-generational event. So you can see it there. So we make sure that, hey, bring your kids to the event, but also bring your mom, bring your aunties and uncles, bring your grandmother. So the market this year that we just had, even, we saw that, right? So so within the group itself, and then within our events, we try to encourage that, like, there's a young lady helping her mom run run the photo booth. That's us doing our and funny enough, at the brunch, it was actually the older ladies in their 60s and 70s who were the first on the dance floor.
Drop foot.
So
right?
it seems like everybody wants to be a part of this, and that was actually a surprise to me. I was just like, where are these little young people letting these ladies show them up on the dance floor? Very, very, very lively. So I think there's definitely a common thread, and I think we have a respect for the older ladies in the group, our aunties that are in the group, and that those who are younger. I mean, I put myself in the middle of that age range, but that those who are younger, we are taking the advice. And even when people come on and ask questions related to their personal situations, it's nice to be able to gain that wisdom from people who have the experience. It's crazy when there's a post and somebody needs help, the wisdom that comes. Because sometimes people would send me a private message and say, hey, Asha, do you know this? I'm just, at this point, I used to be like, oh, I know this person. Now I'm just like, post in the group. Right. You'll get a better response from the group and all the experience and all the wisdom in the group than I could ever personally give you.
That's good.
I love that.
That's good. That's really good. I like that. Let me ask. Go ahead, Brian.
I was just curious, because I know you were already doing the planning for 2025. So what would you say you're looking most forward to going into the new year?
Ooh, so we have a little something that we haven't announced yet, but we're going to be introducing that. So you kind of got a little sneak peek of it right here on the Dr. Vibe show. We have noticed, definitely, and it's funny, as you're even kind of live coaching me here, we've definitely noticed some gaps when it comes to, there's a lot of solopreneurs, like entrepreneurs in the group, who there's little things that are just missing, like basic customer service, basic marketing, people who are, coming to our pop-up markets and that's the only place they sell. It's like, how can we get them, online and things like that. So we're actually going to be introducing a little something for the business owners to help them to level up their businesses. So we're going to introduce that end of January, beginning of February. So again, as you're kind of doing this for me right now, which is really cool, we are doing something for the business owners in the group to really just help them to do better and be better, because sometimes there's some things lacking. There's some excellent business owners who I think them and themselves have helped us to, as a community, I think, squash some of those stereotypes of not being good business owners. So there's people who are excellent in business, and then there's some people, I think, that they probably maybe want to be better but just don't know how. So we're gonna help to rise, just rise that tide of excellence in business.
That's I think that'll be well received.
It's so good. Chris Beth Cowie's in the house. Good morning, family. Keep up the great work, Asha. All right.
Thank you.
Wonderful.
Hey, my dear.
I also too, and I don't know if you've experienced any of the entrepreneurs or yourself. Have you faced any systemic barriers or pushback? And if you have, how have you handled that?
So systemic in terms of like to the outside world?
Yeah. Yeah. Anything like that.
Yeah. I can't say we have in that way, and maybe if we have, I don't notice it, but I think there's a powerful there are powerful numbers behind what we're doing in the group. So I think if anything, it's more that there's some people out there who maybe don't really know about us, so it's our job to be a little bit better in and we've been talking about this year, Fatima and I, of making ourselves more visible and getting out to some of these bigger events to do that networking. So that's something that I think we definitely slacked on in the last little while because our head is down so much trying to manage our own events. So yeah, just getting out there, networking, and making ourselves more visible to a wider audience and the people who might be those decision makers who can help us make some things happen.
And I'm curious, do you get pressure to do more advocacy now? Because I feel with ACBN, the more, what's the word? It's like the bigger we get, the more people want us to latch on to issues and say like, oh, how come you're not talking about this? Do you feel that pressure to do more advocacy?
That's a great question. And coming back to the initial sort of foundation of that empowerment, I put it back on people. So when they're like, oh, you should do this. And I'm like, we can all do something small. So I it's almost like sometimes I remove myself a little bit to kind of to empower the people. So one of the things that have recently happened is a lot of young men have been coming up missing, right?
Yes.
So that conversation. So you'll hear some people say, oh, what are you guys doing about it? But I kind of like, I tagged a few people. There's a lady who, knows a lot of like politicians. And I'm like, okay, can you help us to contact this person to make this more visible? Somebody was like, okay, I'll write up a letter for a petition type letter. Somebody's like, okay, let me reach out to this person. Let me reach out to this person. So I'm hoping that I fostered an environment where it's just like, no, people are coming pointing the finger, Asha, what are you doing? And I can just be like, actually, what part can all of us play? Okay, can you share, is something as simple as share this video to bring more awareness to it? Or, so yeah, I feel like there's definitely that culture of like, people take ownership of this is our group and we all have a part to play in that. So I as much as it's I don't know, I want to say like it's not my responsibility for these, but I don't want to take all of that on myself. So it's kind of like I'm pushing it back to you guys and what are we all doing individually as opposed to what is the group doing?
So just a suggestion, and as this year is coming to an end, one of the great individuals that transitioned this year was Elder Louis March. And whenever someone came to him about, Louis, why aren't you doing this? Why aren't you doing this? He would say, what are you doing?
Right.
What are you doing?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
What are you doing? It takes each one of us to help. So you would say, what are you doing? Right.
Okay. I like
So
it.
Mignon Cam has suggestions. Small Business Expo is a very large event. It's a small business expo in 2025 coming up in May.
Oh, is that the one they do downtown Toronto?
I believe so. I believe so. So Asha, let me put it out there. What lessons have you learned from working with Black women in the Durham region that you think others could benefit from?
Ooh. That's a good question. What have I learned? It's so funny because I am a bit of a idealist sometimes. So I'll believe the best in everybody until they show me otherwise. So I think me as somebody running a group with this many people, it's been having that balance, as you talked about today, even Dr. Vibe, of a lot of people coming to you with what they have going on. So it's kind of finding that balance to make sure I'm looking after myself, making sure that I also have good boundaries. I always tell people, like, I'll get several messages a week of somebody saying, Asha, here's my number, call me. And I'm like, call you about what exactly? About what exactly, right? So at the beginning, it was kind of trying to accommodate everyone, and then realizing that, okay, I can't do that. So it's just like, okay, here's the group, here are the rules. You can ask your questions there, and putting some systems in place in terms of getting in touch with us sometimes, but sometimes it can become a lot. So I think about balancing that love for my community, because I love my people so much, but making sure that I'm also looking after myself so that I can continue to forge ahead and be the vision person and be the person that that it can be sustainable, right? Because I think sometimes a lot of us, we can end up burning out from doing community stuff. Yeah. So it's balancing my care for people, but also making sure that I look after myself so that I'm okay. I'm okay as well.
How important for you is representation for Black women in leadership roles across various sectors? And what steps can communities take to increase it?
I think it's very important. I think that sometimes we let people go into leadership roles without the support that they need. So I think even as people forge ahead and go ahead of us, that we're also here to lend that support, because I think it can be quite exhausting and tiring sometimes being the only one. So lending that support, and then the people who are ahead also, pulling other people behind them. So you're not just the first, or that you're the only. So I think making sure that you have a plan to also bring other people along with you, so that you're no longer solo. Because I think that sometimes it's great. We see Black women sometimes in these leadership positions, but they're the only ones. And that, I think, is that's a hard job to do. It's like you're doing your work, but you're also managing all the politics that come with being the only one. And I think that's exhausting. So I think in order for these amazing ladies not to burn out, that we support them. And whether it's a network of other people who are also in leadership positions in other places, that we should support them, and that there's some way that other people can also come along, so they're not the only ones.
How do you feel Black women can support each other more effectively to thrive and succeed collectively?
I think it's I know that we're all here, working individually to make individual goals happen, but I think it's having a balance of thinking about yourself and also the well-being of the community. So again, it's how I grew up. I have 3 sisters, so it's already you have to share. You're already dividing things. You're already making decisions with other people in mind. So and again, it's just how I grew up. It was always lots of family. It was always lots of community work. So it's just what am I going to do for that other person? So I think I don't know if you can train that into somebody, or if it's inherent, but it's just okay, how if I'm in a workplace and there's another Black woman here, how do I make sure that we're okay? As opposed to only thinking about yourself individually. And I think it's unfortunate, because sometimes we are in survival mode. So it's just if finances are tight and things like that, your body might put you in a survival mode that you don't even want to be in. But I think if we can all help kind of support and help each other, that group thought or that community thought in balance with our individual. Something like that. hopefully that makes sense. I'm thinking about it as I'm talking. Yeah.
That's why I love what you've built, because people can thrive in the right environment, and sometimes they need an example so that they know when they go into a new environment how to build it the way it should be. Because a lot of times when you're the only one or the first, that environment is toxic. So seeing like what you've built with your community, if they can now look to that and say, you know what, I need to bring these elements with me to where I'm going, I think that's powerful.
Yeah. And I would say too, I've seen people who have, for example, there's a lady, Tracy, who's one of the trustees for Whitby. And she said because of the group, she was able to kind of help to get some of these votes to become the trustee. Right. And I think even at something like that, I feel like we all, people have their corporate jobs and whatnot. And I feel like the group is a place, like you might wear all these other hats out there, but you can just come here and just be a Black woman, and you can share something that happened to you, and people could be like, yeah, I can relate. Or you can come once in a while. I throw a joke in there because I think laughter is very important. So it's like you could come and get a Caribbean or African joke, right? And it's just like, we all have a Black mom who did that to us, or we all know that like if you're sick, ginger ale fixes everything. These kind of like
warm ginger ale, lukewarm ginger ale.
Ginger ale fixes everything. So it's just like being able to come, be yourself, get that fuel to fuel you back up, to get back into the world, to do what you have to do, and know that you always have a home to come back to where people understand and people kind of get you. So I think that support and that ability to just come and be yourself. I think there's power in that, because a lot of times we're in spaces where we can't we can't be ourselves. Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
What's been the most rewarding part of the journey?
For me, it's the thank yous. So somebody who stops me on the road or sends a testimonial. I would say those are the things that literally bring tears to my eyes. Because of this group, I was able to do this because of this group. And it's just like a thank you. Thank you for what you do. Like a thank you goes such a long way when you're working hard and you're just wondering like, what am I doing all this work for? Or like, I just want to go watch Netflix and relax myself. But you're always thinking about like, it's just like, we're literally on, I feel like 24/7. Like it almost doesn't turn off. So it's people just coming with a simple thank you that stops me and reminds me of what we're doing. It stops me and then it keeps me going, I would say.
Do you have a mentor?
Do I have a mentor? No, I don't. I don't. Yeah. I recently had somebody that I know who's been like, you could say mentoring me a little bit, but it hasn't become a formal thing. But that's very recent.
Okay. Yeah. If you could give one piece of advice to your younger self, what would it be?
Ooh. I would say that I grew up as somebody who was very shy, very insecure. And I've grown my confidence and my love for myself over the years. So I would say something loving, like you've got this, Asha. You have no idea the things you're going to accomplish or the things that you're going to do. Yeah.
What's the vision for the next 5 to 10 years of the organization? Or have you even grasped any of that yet?
Oh, I don't think I've quite grasped that yet, but definitely incorporating some of the tips that you give me. Definitely delegating some stuff. Definitely, showing up at some bigger tables. So I think we have the power to, maybe show up at some political tables or, some bigger corporate things. So just, making ourselves known, and then just continuing to build that, foundation. I don't think we're there yet we have to get along with each other. We have to build trust with each other.
You're selling yourself short, in my opinion, by the way.
Ah,
I think you are. In fact, I know you are. You've got 12,000 people. That's
Do one of those political debates, like the
there
Black
you
Queens
go.
of Durham political debate.
yeah. Or people who are campaigning and things like that and actually need a vote. It's just
That's
like
it. Yeah, they gotta come say what they're gonna do for the Black Queens.
you need to show up and show us what you're gonna do for us.
How do you hope your work will influence or inspire other communities beyond the Durham region?
And funny enough, we do have a lot of people in the group who who are not from the Durham region. I would hope that that when people do something or start something, and again, I know that obviously we have to do things to make money. Like that's important. You need to live, you need to survive. But I think I would hope that it would inspire people to bring a heart and care for people in what they do.
What legacy do you hope to leave through this organization and your leadership?
Ooh, again, a legacy of building trust and building care for each other, and looking at community, that balance of looking at community over self. So really having a pure intention that you actually want to see the well-being and the thriving of the community. So I hope that that tone, that culture, that vibe that we have fostered in the group, that long after I'm gone, that spirit would kind of stay there, of just like, this is how we treat each other, no matter.
I got three last quick things. First of all, for those who want to support the Black Queens of the Durham region, what are the best ways that they can get involved?
Yeah, so for the women, you can join the Facebook group, Black Queens of Durham Region, and everybody can follow us at Black Queens of Durham on Instagram, and then our website, blackqueensofdurham.ca. You can sign up for our mailing list, so to make sure that you don't ever miss anything that's coming up. I would say, yeah, those are the best ways to stay in touch and kind of watch what we're doing.
How can allies and other community members contribute meaningfully to your mission without overstepping?
Ooh, I would say, yeah, definitely check us out on the website, reach out to us. And you know, we are looking for those partnerships and stuff like that. Definitely follow us on the Instagram page, share whatever it is that we're doing. And I mean, we're always open to have a conversation. So if they go to the website and send us a message, then we can connect that way as well.
So my last thing is, what do you hope listeners will take away, viewers and listeners will take away from this conversation about the importance of uplifting Black women and communities?
Ooh, I think I would hope that people can look at themselves and kind of just be like, what can I do? So whatever you see out there that needs a helping hand or needs some attention, or I think just looking at every individual person, like what's the contribution that I can make today to something. So whether it's another person, whether it's a community on a whole, and I think sometimes we underestimate that we can just do something, even if it's something small, that it counts.
Stick me with a fork, I'm done. Ryan, anything else?
No, I just want to say thank you for like what you're already doing. You're definitely an inspiration, and learning from what you've built to now encourage and inspire the rest of us. I just want to say thank you for coming on to share your story and keep up the great work.
Well, I'd like to email you, but on a Monday, it's probably the worst day to email you.
You know, as soon as I'm done, I'm going to go approve my posts, my Monday business posts.
So when should I email you?
Tomorrow.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. I'm listening. I will wait till tomorrow to email you because there's a myriad of suggestions.
Okay, but at least get a draft going, because I don't want to miss anything that's in your brain right now.
No, you know what? No, they're just rolling things. There's always new things that come up. So last few comments people have here. Of course, they're correcting me. Ryan Singh says nearly 13,000. Colin Williams says 12,700. So see, they got your back.
Thank you.
Man, they 12,700.
Yes,
And then
thank
Charmaine
you.
Husky, the first lady of ACBN, says, thanks for sharing great information. So we like to say thank you. We're right at the deadline time. So I wanted to make sure, because again, value your time. But we like
I can talk to you guys all day, really. This was such a great conversation.
Have you back in 2025.
Well,
okay, I'll definitely come back. If you have me, I will come back.
My email is waiting for tomorrow, because there's so many things. I'm going to share some resources and thought process that I suggest will help you.
Okay.
There's because like I said, I don't know too many organizations of people who look like us that have 12,000 members.
Mm-hmm.
I just checked 12,800 now.
12,800.
So, Ryan, come on now. Correct with the almost 13,000. Let's just call it 13,000. By next week, we'll be there.
And one thing I think I can also maybe put a suggestion to, if Dr. Tachi is still on here, getting interviewed on her platform.
Okay.
Hey, that'd be awesome.
All right. So as always, don't just manage your time, manage your energy. Remember to give yourself grace. And if you're not making money, make history.
Yeah. And thank you for making time for us.
Thank you for making time for us.
My pleasure. It's great.
Looking forward to our next conversation. Keep the faith.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. All right, Mr. Ryan.
Awesome.
Was that okay?
That is wonderful as always. And as we wrap up for 2024, any plans for New Year's celebration? What do you usually do?
I'm going to stay quiet because you've taken over the world.
Whatever. Yeah.
You've taken over. No, I just stay quiet. But actually, I'm going to share some things. And I think I'm going to create a document for some suggestions for the new year.
Mm-hmm.
So I just really quick, here are some suggestions from my alleged mind for the new year. First of all, and this is not just business-wise, but mindset-wise, make the right withdrawals and the right deposits.
Yeah.
Another thing, lean forward in hope.
Okay. Gotcha.
Also, some other things, and I'll probably create a document for this. But let me just quickly here. Okay, let me just. Okay. Anguish turns to remembering.
Okay. Gotcha.
To remember, and another one here is that. Okay, drop or get rid of regrets of missed opportunities.
Mm-hmm.
Yearning about past mistakes.
Gotcha. Yep.
And also drop controlling circumstances.
Cool.
Then
cool.
Accept healthy lifestyle choices like not eating oxtail every day.
I've adjusted once a week. Not every day anymore.
Asha's just laughing at that one big time. You know, we got to, man, Asha, when you have time, you got to co-host with us.
Well, ask the Queens of Durham where the best oxtail is in Durham so that I can record it on the Oxtail Hunter Instagram page.
Oh, Lord have mercy. But also open up to responses. People are going to respond. You can't control the responses. You don't have to agree with their responses. Just accept them. True. And then I would also say that we're all in this struggle together, family. Let's realize this. We're all in this struggle together. And some questions. As you look back at 2024, what did you learn about yourself?
Okay. Yeah.
And what did you learn from your challenges and your successes? Right? And then you know what? What things do you need to let go of and leave behind in 2024?
Yeah, and that kind of leads to my thoughts on going into 2025. And I love how Earn Your Leisure says it, assets over liabilities. I want to really focus on what liabilities I can start shedding and how to build more assets.
Mhm.
So that'll be a focus for mine in 2025.
Some more things. How will you reflect in a productive way?
Right.
Another thing, when will you set time aside to do that?
True.
And then how will you document and remind yourself on what you've learned?
Yeah. Everybody get their 2025 journals ready to go.
Look, even last night I was telling the gentleman, my black book.
Yes.
I
Actually,
tried.
that's what I should do is actually review my 2024 journal and see what in here was supposed to get done that needs to get done.
So Mignon Cam says, I'm keeping my daily oxtail. So you got to
Yeah.
And also she says there are 5-year journals.
Oh,
There you go.
wow, yes.
They're 5-year journals. I have realized I'm more productive using this than using this.
Definitely.
Because when you write it down,
yes,
it's a whole different story than just typing it down.
Yeah.
Right. So another suggestion I shared last night. Everyone they like to set their goals or whatever. It's one thing to write. It's one thing to think about them. It's another thing to write them. And I'm going to put this off road to Miss Asha live right here. Get an accountability partner.
Gotcha.
2 years ago, a gentleman who has done really good stuff, has won 2 Emmy Awards, asked me if we could be accountability partners for a year. I had so much personal growth, both of us, in that way. So nice. Shirley Jasmine says January 1st is Haitian Independence Day. We usually have our pumpkin soup, freedom soup. All right.
Nice.
And Mignon Cam says the Japanese journals have turned it into an art form. I don't doubt that.
Cool.
But so I'm going to put some of these suggestions down in the Discord group because, again, there's less distractions for me this week. Nice. So I'm going to be putting some of this down in a Discord. And people, don't discount Discord. Mm-hmm. It is a powerful community thing that is really good because a lot of people, especially the younger people, have left Facebook and using the Discord platform. And that's how I found about one of my interns. And here's another suggestion for Asha and her business ladies. I asked my young intern, what's the best method of contact? He says, Discord. I go, what's that?
Wow.
This is a few years ago, and I found it. I say, I love it. I love Discord. It is amazing because you set up so many different groups on one page. Everything's there. You can upload video. There's so many different things on it. But that's that. So Ryan Knight, we made it through another calendar year.
Hey, brother. And it's been a wonderful journey with you as always, learning so much, but just happy to be able to chat because this is the vibe I love to start the week with, and the year going into 2025. The morning vibe has helped to set the tone. So I want to say thank you for that.
Well, thank you to you and your family, and thank you for allowing me to be part of your journey and all your business owners' journey. Just a final result on the poll.
Yes.
Only 50% of the respondents said they're doing goals for 2020.
50-50? Wow.
50.
That's crazy. Okay.
50-50. So my question is for those people who aren't doing that, what are you doing?
Right. What do we do instead?
So Dr. Tachi says, I love Discord. I got it because of crypto.
Oh, okay. Listen, my daughter Jasmine set me up on Discord because she's like, this is how I communicate with my friends. So I had no idea how to set, but
Same here.
Helped me set it up so that I could do that Mid-Journey AI creating pictures. You have to do it in Discord.
Yep.
So a lot of AI stuff is actually in Discord channels. It's interesting how people use it.
So Mignon Cam says her work uses Discord. Lala says choosing a word and a motto. Well, we can work offline with that. Lala, when are you coming on this? Since you're on this side of the ocean, when are you coming? I want Lala to give a deep dive on international real estate.
Oh, we should get Ray to come on that episode.
Ray
too.
and her, that'd be damage. That would be damage. That's get the get ready to dial 911 after those two get on. There, your head will be going boop boop.
Yeah.
Boop. But I will. You know what, Lala? I'm gonna actually. That's another thing. You can make audio calls to someone through Discord. So that's what I'm going to be doing today with Lala, and we're gonna catch up with. But that's it. So, oh, by the way, on Friday, Wayne Harris is going to be here. First Financial Fridays, first one of the new year. That means Dr. Tachi is going to get pushed back again, probably to the following Friday, but she doesn't mind. But Dr. Tachi will be coming up in the next short while talking about 2024, the year in media, tech, and pop culture.
Sweet, sweet.
So that is it. I want to say a huge thanks to Samantha and Shirley, who helped produce our epic conversation today. Shirley is brand new, doing some production, so she's going to be increased. She's an intern. Hi, Asha. You heard that word? Intern. That's doing production. And Samantha's been helping out for the last month and a half, 2 months. She's the lady taking care of when all the comments come up. When I speak to them, she puts them all up. Nice. See, get my time back so I can focus on Black Queens.
Nice. I love it.
All right. So if you want to get a hold of Ryan, this is it. Website, Ryan O'Neill Knight. And people, I always have to say this. It's KN, not N.
Oh, yes. Okay.
I always make people aware. It's KNI.
Yes, like knight in shining armor.
That's what your wife says?
Yeah, I try to be as chivalrous as I can.
Okay. All right. LinkedIn, Ryan O'Neill Knight. Instagram, at Ryan.KNIGHT99. Email work with me at RyanO'NeillKnight.com. Myself, the Dr. Vibe Show, the DRVIBESHOW.com. YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn, the Dr. Vibe Show. Instagram, at the Dr. Vibe Show. X, at DRVIBESHOW. Email, DR.VIBE at the DRVIBESHOW. And here's probably something Asha hasn't heard of. Blue Sky. I met she's in the green room because I don't think she may want to stick around and chat some more. So that's why we're going to, because we got to give the Black Queen attention, her proper attention. So Blue Sky at drvibe.bsky.social. People go, what's Blue Sky? Well, after the last American election, a lot of people said X/Twitter is too toxic. And now they have a new platform that was created. Someone created, was originally founded by Jack Dorsey, who originally was the founder of Twitter and sold Twitter, created this. He doesn't own it anymore, but this is a less toxic platform. They actually you can create your own hashtag rooms on this platform.
Okay, nice.
So new opportunities. So for the last time in 2024, live your life as a dream. If you can dream it, you can make it. Sometimes you have to get small to get stronger. Block assumptions and aim bigger, aim better, aim higher, aim wider. Love, faith, and respect. We got some more comments here. I want to make sure people get them on. Look at this. Lala is up. Lala says, let's pick a date, and I want Ray. Okay.
Nice. Right.
I'm going to reach out to Ray today for you to come on together and slay international real estate. Because both Ray and Lala have deep experience of doing real estate in countries around the world.
Yes.
All right. Congrats, Guy. I don't know who that is. Then Dr. Tachi says hello to Lala. She says, hey, sis, Mignon Cam. The platform does not matter. It's the people who are making things toxic. Yeah, well, that's the problem. The people on are toxic. And then that's IQ Cam says, Happy New Year, everyone. And then I will finally, as always, end our off. If you're not making money, make history. So, Ryan, we will see you on Friday. Well, hopefully we'll see you on Friday.
We'll see you
and now we're going to go offline and see if Asha wants to co-host once in a while. Because she doesn't have any, she has nothing else to do, right? She can come in, guest host once in a while. Come in periodically. We're going to do an open up, and there's actually I'm going to reach out to some Black Queens and say, hey, if you have space, you can come in periodically and co-host with us.
Yeah, I love it.
All right, so we will see everyone on Friday. Have a safe and happy rest of this year, and we wish you a blessed and highly favored 2025. Make sure you include us in it. Take care. Bye-bye.